Just a few years ago, I was working for my dad's landscaping company, making about $250 per day. And today I run a life insurance agency that's doing around $450,000 per month in production. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact path I followed to make over 6 figures my first year in the industry, so you can copy it and do the exact same thing for yourself. So I'm gonna be breaking down the entire system, step by step, how to get licensed, what to sell, how you get paid, so you can literally just do what I did. And if you stick till the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to start from zero. So let's get right into it. Step 1 is gonna be getting your license. Here's the thing nobody wants to hear. You can't make a dime in this business until you're actually licensed to sell the products. This is where most people quit before they even get started. They'll just put it off forever, but it's really not that hard. So here's exactly what you want to do in order to get licensed. You're going to want to buy the pre-licensing course on websites like ExamFX or Excel Solutions. Study for about a week. Book your state exam either in person or on websites like PSI, and you're in. It'll cost you a few $100, but it's probably the highest ROI investment you'll ever make. My agency can help you get the course for free, but that's up to you. So once the license is in your hand, you've got a decision to make, because what you sell changes everything about how you actually make money. Which brings us into step 2, learn what you're actually selling. You'd be shocked how many agents get licensed, then get on the phone having no clue what they're actually selling. Now, this is important because if you sound unsure, or if you can't answer a simple question, people will notice it and won't pay you money for it. So at the end of the day, these people are trusting you with their families, so you need to be on your best game here. Now, there's really 3 lanes in life insurance, and you only need to master one to start. You've got final expense. That's helping families cover funeral and burial costs, usually for an older crowd by selling whole life products. Then you've got term life, which is also known as mortgage protection. That protects a family for a set number of years, typically to cover mortgages and living expenses. These policies expire, but families get a big payout if something happens within the window. And then you've got the advanced stuff like IULs and annuities, which are more complex and honestly something you'll grow into later after learning how to sell whole life and term. The thing is, you don't need to know all this stuff overnight. You just need to pick your lane and get genuinely good at it. Now, what I recommend is pick one product to start. For most new agents, I'd point them at final expense. That's because the market's massive and the sale is a bit easier, but you can still get started in mortgage protection as well. Doesn't really matter. By the way, I've sold all products by this point now: final expense, mortgage protection, annuities, IULs, and after experiencing all areas of the market, I personally enjoy selling final expense the most, just because you have access to a bigger market, and if you get really good at the sales process, you can stand out compared to another agent that may call your client down the line and try and resell them. They'll decide to go with me every time. Either way, whatever product you want to sell, you're going to want to learn it well enough to explain it to a 5-year-old. You're going to want to know what it does, who it's for, and know the answers to the 3 or 4 questions that clients will always ask you. That's pretty much it. The most important thing would be, don't fall into the research trap, watching 50 YouTube videos trying to master everything before your first call. That's just procrastinating. You need to learn the basics and then throw yourself right into the fire and start getting reps in. You can't be afraid to get your teeth kicked in for a little while when you first get started in this industry. It happens to everybody. But honestly, knowing the product means nothing if you're plugged into the wrong agency. And this next part is where most people accidentally waste years of their life. Which brings us into step 3, picking an agency to join. This is the decision that makes or breaks you, and almost nobody explains it right. Most people get this part wrong, run in circles for a year, and quit thinking the business doesn't work, when really they just took the wrong approach to begin with. I was a victim of it myself. When I first got into the industry, I hopped from one agency to the next because they were all missing at least one piece of the puzzle. if I were starting over today, here's exactly what I'd look for in an agency. That's going to be great training, exclusive leads, not just from some third-party vendor, the ability to work remote, high commissions, someone to keep you accountable, and a good culture. That's exactly why I built my agency, DSO Financial, to fill all those gaps for new agents getting started and not have to go through what I went through. The way it should go is you plug into a team that's already done it with tons of proof of concept around you. You get trained, you're handed a proven script, you're provided lead resources, and you're kept accountable. You're not guessing, you're following a path that already works. You still get to work on your own time, but when you need help, the resources should be there. So I encourage you to join an agency selectively, but if you want in with us at DSO, the link's in the description. You can either book a call with me or just apply through the form, and I'll show you exactly what we're all about. So now you've got everything set up as far as getting licensed and finding an agency, but none of it means a thing until you can do the one thing most people freeze up on, actually closing the sale. And I'm going to show you it's a lot more simple than you may think. So that brings us into step 4, learning how to actually sell. This is where the money's made, but it's also where most people fold. It's the most intimidating part of the process, but you just can't overcomplicate it. Anybody can close a deal. I closed a policy on my very first day as a beginner, not because I was good. I promise you my skill was not there yet, but because I made hundreds of dials on day one while everyone else was still studying the perfect things to say. You gotta just throw yourself in the fire. Think of insurance as just having a conversation with the other person on the phone. You call the lead, you ask questions, figure out what they need, lay out some options for them. You're gonna handle some of their concerns, help them pick a policy, and fill out the application right over the phone, or you can set an appointment to close the deal. To sell at a high level, you just need to become a master at the basics. At its core, it's as simple as that. But handling your prospects' concerns and objections is where the difficulty actually comes in. To make this easy for you, I'll give you a rundown of what these sales calls are actually structured like. So the beginning of the call is obviously the intro, asking the right questions just to buy 15 to 20 extra seconds and keep your prospect on the phone for a little bit longer. Then you move into your needs analysis, where you find out how much the client actually knows about the product and why they've been looking in the first place. From there, you'll quote and pitch the price, which is pretty self-explanatory. Move into completing the actual insurance application, seeing if the client gets approved, and finally solidifying the deal and getting the client to see you as their agent for life. And that's pretty much the entire process that helped me make 6 figures my first year in the industry, the same one that I've used to now grow an agency doing $5 million per year in production and only growing. So if you want to actually run this with me and my team behind you, we get you set up with everything you need to get started. You'll get the pre-licensing course for free, exclusive leads, one-on-one training, and you're kept accountable every step of the way. We have tons of people on our team already making it work as well that you'll also be able to learn from. So if that interests you, go hit the link in the description. You can either book a call with me or simply fill out the application form. But that's it for this one. I thank you all for watching. If you learned something, please subscribe and stay tuned for more. Peace.